before I bring him on, I want to share with you just a few things, because I think that it's very important. First of all, the mindset, we already covered that. The second part of it is about cash flow. How can you actually build the cash flow? How can you get money coming in? And by the way, some people think that you need money to make money. Yeah. Some people think you need money to make money. Some people say, oh, if I had the money, I would do X, Y, Z. Yeah. And the people who always say, if I had the money, I would do X, Y, Z, look, you're not, that if is not going to happen. That if is not, I'm just saying it how it is, that if is not going to happen. Because if it hasn't happened in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years so far, unless you change something, unless you change your approach, change your strategy, it's not going to happen just by, if I had the money, X, Y, Z will happen. In fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but there were some statistics that actually show that most lottery winners, they actually lose all their money.
Yeah.
Because most people think, oh, only if I had the money, it's so easy, just buy properties. Yeah? Do you think everybody who buys properties makes money?
No.
No, of course not. There's these strategies. That's why I always say you need to model success. Second thing is understanding how can you build cash flow. How can you actually build something where you put money out, bring money in. We're going to share some really, really cool stuff tomorrow. I was just going through it before with one of the speakers, and it's amazing. How can you actually build that cash flow? Even if you, like some of you, maybe just starting out in business, you may have little money right now, and you're thinking, how do I start? Right? How do I start? But you can, if you know how to be creative about it, if you know the strategies, if you know how to leverage, right? There's loads of ways to do it. And you're going to get a lot of different ideas over this weekend for you to be able to implement. And by the way, let me just ask you a question there. How many of you, just be honest here, right? How many of you actually have an idea for a business and you want to go in there, you think it's, you think it'll work, but you're just saving some money to start it. I mean, you haven't quite saved up enough money yet to do it. Just raise your hand so I can see. You're saving up for it. Okay, cool. Thank you for your honesty. Yeah. And again, I just want to say how it is, not to attack you. It's because I just want to say how it is, so you get the effect. You understand. Is that if you are looking to save enough money for a business, wrong strategy. Yeah? You might as well just give up now. If you're looking to save enough money, because the reality is this, like I said, you could be in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, or your 50s, or your 60s, and if in the last 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years you haven't saved up enough money to start your business yet, what's the likeliness it's going to happen in the next 3 to 6 months? It's virtually like, it's this small. There's really, understand this, right? Then what happens is most people think, yeah, I get it. I know what he's going to say. Find investors. What Binder talks about, other people's money. Find investors, right? A lot of people think they're looking for investors. How many of you in this room are looking for investors? Just be honest. You're looking for an investor, okay? Like, where are investors? I had a guy come to one of my events. He said, Eric, just one last question. Put his hand up. I said, what's the question? He said, where do I find investors? I said, I'm here. He said, I said, anything else? I said, okay, take your seat. Cool. The question is, when an investor is there, what are you going to say? How are you going to pitch? Are you ready for the pitch? Because let me tell you what most people do. Most people are like, oh, when I see the investor, when I find the investor, then I'll work out the pitch. No. You need to be ready. That's why I say you're born ready. You need to be always ready. So you already prepare this thing. You have an idea for it, get it ready. You never know. You bump into someone in the corridor, how do you have the elevator pitch? How do you have like 30 seconds, 1 minute, what are you going to say? How are you going to get the people intrigued? How are you going to create that hook? Right? I'm going to be sharing with you different ways to be able to do it. Would that be useful, by the way? Yeah, I'm going to be sharing with you different ways to be able to do that tomorrow. And because let me tell you the reality of it, okay? And this next session is mindset, yes, it's psychology, it's entrepreneurship. Now this is like, I don't know, I don't, like, this is a true entrepreneur, right? Somebody who can build something like this is a true entrepreneur spirit. But I want you to understand something, is that I don't believe that entrepreneurship is a choice. You know, to be a great entrepreneur, right? To be a great entrepreneur, I don't think this is really a choice. We're all actually playing exactly the same game. I don't know how many of you realize this. Whether you're in a job right now, or if you are a great entrepreneur, you're actually playing the same game. If you get really good at one thing, you'll be really good at the other thing. And why I say that is understand what entrepreneurship is about. First of all, let me ask you a question, okay? How many of you, for example, like what most people do is they go out there and they exchange their time for money. True. They go out there, they work. And then when they want to make more money, so what do they do? If they're exchanging their time for money, they want to make more money, what would they do? Work more hours. They think, oh, work more. That's the average person, that's how they think. Is that, I need to make more money, work more. Do more jobs, get another part-time. Right? But you can't relate time to money. You can't, because let me ask you a question. How many of you are paid for your time? In this room, how many of you are paid for your time? Just be honest. Raise your hands nice and high so I can see you. Nice and high, nice and high. Point to yourself. Say, no, I'm not. Nobody in this room is paid for time. Those of you who are paid for time, prove to me. Go home, sit there. Let time will pass by, show me how you get paid. Show me your bank account. Sit there. Nobody gets paid for time. You only get paid for this thing. The value you add in the time. So how do you get paid more? You add more value. You become more valuable. Right? You learn to do things that other people can't do. We're going to be sharing with you loads of different skills to be able to increase your value. Now, when you start understanding, right, increasing your value is one thing, right? Let's say you're really valuable. You have all the skills. If you have all the skills, okay, to help a company, if you have all the value within you, right, within your mind, do you think that equals, therefore, financial freedom? No. Because nobody knows you've got that value. Do you sometimes, I don't know if any of you have ever had this, you see two people go for a job, right? The person who's not as qualified gets the job. You think, oh, but I've got more qualifications. But who cares if you've got more qualifications? Because it's not just about the value is one thing. That's in the center of it. The second part of it is understanding this part, and this part is crucial. What's the word? Come on, team, what's the word?
Sales.
Sales. You need to know how to sell that value. If you don't, by the way, how many of you in this room are in sales? Okay, how many of you not in sales? Nice and high, nice and high, nice and high. Nice and high, not in sales. Point to yourself, say, we're in sales. Okay, every single one of you are in sales. Every single day you are selling. You're selling an idea, a philosophy, a product, a service, you're selling something. Every single day. You are all in sales. You see something that's really great, you tell somebody about it, right? You tell them, you just bought this thing, it's really, really great. You tell your aunt about it, your aunt goes and buys it, what have you just done? Sold. You are all in sales. You meet the love of your life for the first time, you walk up to them in a particular way, with a particular swagger. You smile in a particular way, right? You dress a certain way, approach them, you talk a certain way. Some of you go posh, some of you, like me, go more gangster. What are you doing? Selling. Right? You meet them for the first time, you tell them what you can do. By the way, you know, I make a mean lasagna. I give great massages. Right? I play the piano. I used to be in a band. Right? And then you get together because you've sold yourself well. And you get together and you can't do any of that shit. What have you just done? That's oversell, true. But how many of you know what I'm talking about, by the way? What are you doing? You're selling. What are you doing? You're using certain strategies. You are all in it. Sales is not a choice. If you look at it this way, the greatest entrepreneurs, the greatest leaders in the world, the greatest influence in the world. By the way, when I say sales, it doesn't have to be selling and money. That's not what I mean. Selling your value, selling your proposition. If you have a great idea for a business, who cares if you have a great idea? If you don't know how to sell it, keep the idea to yourself. There's so many people that are like, oh yeah, I have a great product, cool. I have a great idea, cool. Right? But the thing that this is the thing that most people, they're like, I don't really like sales. Repeat after me. Selling is serving. Understand that, first of all. Selling is serving. What does that mean? If the center of it is about value, you have that value, you can offer that value. But you can't offer that value without selling the value. Does this make sense? You have something, you have an idea, you have a product, you have a service that's going to save somebody's life, but you don't know how to sell it? Or you don't want to sell it? No, I don't like selling. You don't like serving? You don't like offering? You don't like helping people? The only way to help people is this process called sales. Does this make sense? Or serving. That's why I say, you look at the greatest entrepreneurs, the greatest leaders out there, what are they doing? Very simple. They find something of value, and what they do? They sell it, they serve. That's all. How do they impact more lives? They get something of value, they serve. That's all. That's the process. There's two steps. When you're in a job, it's exactly the same thing. If you want to get good at entrepreneurship, it's exactly the same thing. Find something that can help people. Find something that people want, and know how to offer it. Does this make sense? This is very powerful, and some of you are looking at that, okay, that's all great, Eric, but how do I start my business? Yeah. This session is going to open up a whole new world to you. This is going to open up a whole new world to you. You know, the thing is, when you do this, building cash flow is one thing. Creating assets is another thing. Right, we're going to be talking a little bit about assets and stuff as well tomorrow. This has been this part. You know, creating assets. And this is the part where I'm actually not so good at understanding, well, property. It's not my thing. But when it comes to investing money, I give it to somebody who knows how to invest in property, to invest that stuff. I love the entrepreneurship stuff. I love the building businesses stuff. Does this make sense? Yeah. So there's always different people who specialize in different things, and whatever you feel connected to, then that's, you know, you follow that. Follow the steps that might make it work for other people. With these three things, it becomes very, very powerful. You can create whatever financial freedom you want. And on that note, I really want to invite this person on stage. I mean, let me